Hello and welcome. I am the Sterling and today we are playing Anno 1800. Now guess what? The list is back. We have so much to do this episode, it's unbelievable. In this episode I want to build a zoo. I want to build a museum. I want to start expeditions so then we can fill said zoo or museum. And I want to start a world war. I think it's time for me to stop being this gentle Sterling I've been so far and become a tyrant. Cape Tawani is mine. I have earned it. And so we're going to push our allies out. But to do this, I need to make sure that I've got the ships and the power to be able to take on all three at once. So I'm going to need steel. I'm going to need oil. I'm going to need a lot of resources. The money is in no way an issue. We have plenty of money, but we just need the resources. So sit back, grab a cold one, and let's get started. Fantastic, our ships have now arrived. I've brought these over from Sutherland. These ships here will be the ones that will be doing the expeditions. You do expeditions to collect things, such as animals or anything to put in the museum. We'll come back and deal with this in a moment. Because the first thing I want to do is start planning out the zoo. Now I think this is a nice little area here that we can start it. First of all, we lay down the zoo building here. I'm thinking we'll put it about there. Then, going to encase it. It was about there. Just double check. Perfect. And I think the corner was about there. Yes, it is. Don't take your eyes off it. And done. Fantastic. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to fill it full of the exhibits, put pathing in all in between, and then we can go and do an expedition and get some animals. As you can see, I don't have any animals yet. There we go, nothing. Now I think you get the idea. So the expeditions are under the expedition tab. You click on it, and then you click the one that you want to do. As you can see, I've got plenty. So we'll go the zoo one. As you can see, these are the things that I've got to put on the ship to make it more likely that this will be a success. So I'll assign the ship. Next, we need rations. So we're going to come through and look what is rations. Right? For instance, schnapps is medicine. We don't need that. Well, we can add crafting. Well, I might take crafting out because it's only likely, where almost certain and highly likely are better options, I think. Fur coats are hunting. And tea is false. So we'll add tea. Done. Now, hopefully that will be a success. Start expedition. And there we go. It's going to head off and do the expedition. So we don't seem to have any other zoo ones right now, but we do have a museum one. So how about we do that? So we'll send the Grey Goblin. So once again, assign the ship. We're going to go down and find the Grey Goblin. I really like that name. Grey Goblin. Now, we know we're going to need rations. We'll do some sausage this time. We're going to need diplomacy. Diplomacy, from memory, is beer, isn't it? Yes, it is. Beer. And we're going to need hunting. Once again, we can go some fur coats. Done. Let's send that on the expedition and hope for the best. Fantastic. Now I'll just get back to planning out our zoo. And there we go. The zoo is now complete. I just have to wait for the expeditions to finish and I can start filling it out. Now we're going to start a major project. We're going to build the World's Fair. I'm thinking we'll put it about here. That way, it's right down the center. Now we need to feed it resources as we go, and it will slowly build. So let's start. For this one, we're going to need timber, We're going to need cement, and we'll need 500 farmers. So we're going to have to get on top of those 500 farmers. We'll start the phase. Done. With a bit of time, that should level out. So now this is the next phase of the expeditions. We're going to make choices. The ghost ship. After weeks of hot weather, supplies of drinking water have become dangerously low. It therefore seems a minor miracle when a fellow ship appears on the horizon, for surely they have water to share. But as it draws near, the crew are aghast. There is no sign of life aboard. It is a ghost ship. We must flee before it is too late, they cry. So we can either flee, which will lose morale, and as we lose morale, once the morale completely drops, we're done, or we can use faith to try and solve this problem. The only problem is, I did not put anything on board that is faith related. We're going to have to take a chance. And we lost quite a lot of morale. Probably a bad decision, but not the end of the world. Okay, hopefully we do better next time. Now, how are we going to continue? Well, we have plenty of rations. So we'll give them some rations and we'll continue on our way. So once again, we now have to deal with the next part of the expedition. This is now the zoo one. The last one was for the museum. The storm came from nowhere, wrecking your ship on the coral-strewn shores. For a time, your crew feel like children again, dancing along the sand and bathing in the sun, as they await a verdict on the damaged hull. When it comes, the news is not good. Extensive repair is needed, and with supplies so short, there is considerable disagreement. Why concentrate on repairs, given how long that may take, when both food and water are urgently needed? Well, we have fur coats, so we can go hunting. So I think that's our best bet. The island is alive with animals, so we made the right choice. So good news is, we've only lost a little morale. We can now move on. And we'll give them some rations. Done. A crack in the hull. Water in the hull. The overloaded ship could only go so far with the many supplies in its belly. A series of strong waves send the crates flying, and the boat's stomach soon explodes. Cracks pierce the hull where the cargo hit, and trickles of water pop one after another throughout the storage space. Crap. Well, this isn't good. We got no crafting supplies, so we're going to take a hit here. This joke of a pump looks like it came from the Dark Ages, as the sailors battle to have their own idea of a pump prevail over the others. They assemble a monster that does nothing more than blow bubbles. One of the cracks in the hull bursts in a spray of water, silencing the machine as the ship starts to flood. So we got a choice. We can either throw supplies overboard, or we can seal the overflowing section. We're going to try and seal it. Well, that was not good. Both cargo and crew are doomed to drown the leakage. The sailors closed the hull's doors on the comrades, hushing their screams. However, there's no avoiding reopening the hull when time comes for repairs. The water floods out, carrying bodies, transfixed with expressions of suffocation, terror, and betrayal. Well, we made some bad choices there. So, the chances of us succeeding now have significantly dropped. Good chance we won't. There's also waiting for the archaeology one. An ambush of missiles. The unmapped region of the Great Forest is home to an indigenous people whose policy is to preempt the hostility of trespassers into their territory. Suddenly a man grips his shoulder where a feathered dart now hangs. It could have come from anywhere. Do you hide, fight, or if all else fails, flee? Well, we have fur coats, so we can do hunting. So we're going to use the fur coats. The rain of darts comes to an end when your group quickly and cleverly diffuses, each finding their own space. Out of respect, perhaps your ambushers decide to retreat, or do they simply believe the damage is already done? Those who were hit begin to wheeze heavily, collapsing to the floor, for the darts are tipped with poison. Well, we can do diplomacy because we have beer. So let's have a beer with them. It's what the locals know as Aurtur, I think it would be pronounced. Accounts from the region frequently reference it as a lethal coating for arrowheads, or in this case, blow darts. A treatment is also mentioned, a form of mouth-to-mouth in which the resuscitator acts as an iron lung for the patient. And it works. There is no childish awkwardness, with an excess of volunteers offering to save their fellows. The victims of the poison are saved, and all emerge from those often dark hours with a new feeling of togetherness. Well, I guess we win some and we lose some. In this case, for once we won. Could it be a Kraken? What else could possess tentacles wide as a barrel, as your lookout claims to have spotted protruding from the treacle black swell? Creature of legend or not, a shadow below the surface is hurtling towards your ship at full speed. Well, we're going to kill the monster with fur coats. Can you explain to me how you'd use a fur coat to kill a sea monster? I can't think of any way. But they seem to think you can, so let's give it a crack. Sloppy shooting from your pod of suckers. The twisting aberration slinks and jets obliquely, its mantle engorged and thrumming with arcane energy. Its lip-like suckers pucker and latch onto the hull, leaving its beaked face up above the starboard rail. In a game of peekaboo, it is vast. Wow, okay, so bonus chance 5%. So if we use coffee, bonus chance 5%, or 70% the fact that we've got naval power because we're on a bloody battleship. So we're going to use the battleship. Boom. Right in the mandibles. Ooh, that sounds painful. The Kraken inhales the slew of heavy artillery and is propelled outwards and star-like, before plummeting to the depths with a good part of the ship still in its grip. Repairs will be needed. You cannot think why the creature was so offended by your presence, but at least it now has some memento of your meeting to clutch onto. Fantastic. So once again, we survived, and we got another one here. The expedition returns. After weeks of trials and tribulations, your expedition comes home safe. You have captured a wild animal. The crew toasts the success of your zoological expedition. This can only aid studies of the natural world. Fantastic. We've got quite a little few things to stick in our zoo. Fantastic. The expedition returns and we are successful. We have collected some new things for the museum when we finally build it. So now it's time for us to add a few of the animals to our zoo. So what we'll do is we'll click here and we'll add the alligator gar here. We'll add the dolphin over here. And we'll add the moose. Oh, it's an elk. We'll add the elk over here. Fantastic. Our first few things are here. Now I have another zoo expedition waiting. so I'll take care of that. It's going to be a difficult one. Look, it's got 3 skulls. One by one in the old world, we are taking all of Aurtur's islands. This is the second last in the old world. We've lost a ship, but trust me, we're not lacking for ships, so we don't care. The only real consequence is the time it takes me to actually build the ships. And there we go. It is now our island. Now, I was just having a look at the map, and I've accidentally lied. He actually has a couple of little islands. Is that one? No. So that was his third last island. He's still got this one over here, and he's still got this one over here. So he's still got 2 more. But we'll make light work of those. Oh. Did he buy that out from under us? Don't ask me how. That was actually ours a moment ago. He's getting cheeky. I don't think he bought it. I think he must have snuck in or something. I don't know. That was ours a moment ago. Fantastic. The World's Fair is now ready to be upgraded to the next level. So let's do it. Finish phase. Done. Now we're going to need concrete. We're going to need steel beams. And we're going to need bricks. And we're going to need 1,000 workforce. Wow. We've got a lot to do. So now I think it's time for us to start building the museum. So we'll come over here, we'll grab the museum. And what I'll do is I'll place it about here, I think. Something like that. Done. Double check. It's always hard to tell which way the museum goes. I think that will be alright, just like that. Now we'll run a road up to it. Beautiful. And run a road across. And then we can build the museum in here. And there we go. That's the museum complete. Now we can put a couple of the exhibits in. So we'll put this one here, the trinket, and the ring, and the sword. Done. Now later on, when I got a big bunch of them, I could start moving them all around and make them a bit of a pattern, so that I could make circle, square, circle, or something like that. But for the moment, that'll be all right. It's all starting to come together now. The World's Fair is coming along. Now that was the second last. He's only got 1 island left in the old world. Here we go. This is Aurtur's last island here in the old world. We're going to give it a spanking. Fantastic. That is all of his islands now gone from the old world. And all his islands gone from Cape Tuani. And all his islands gone from the New World. We own all 3 regions. Now it's just a matter of us sending some ships into the other regions and knocking him out there as well. The next phase of the World's Fair is now complete. Done. Now we need to get windows, steam motors, and wood veneers. Let's start. So I've been buying all the seats here at Peace Lake in Cape Tuani. We can now buy it out from under her. Peaceful takeover. This is now ours. And we can also now take over East River. Done. Another peaceful takeover. There's only 1 island left in Cape Tuani that doesn't belong to us, and she keeps buying the seats back from us. Which is costing us a bit, because we're at the moment buying them back and forwards. It's a pain in the bum, but that's fine. War has been declared on us. which is not good. So we're fighting here in Embasa, but we better go back to Cape Tawani because we're under attack here in Cape Tawani somewhere. Yes. So war has been declared. The world war is beginning. There we go. We've conquered one of his islands in Embasa. We have our ships scouring the Arctic, just making sure that Aurtur hasn't established any islands here. As of right now, it doesn't look like he has. We're now hitting his second island in Embasa. It's his second island and second last island. We can see now that he's definitely on the way out. He's not producing ships anywhere anymore, so what ships he does have, once we knock them out, they're done. And there we go. That's his second last island, now ours. And as long as he's got nothing in the Arctic, he's only got one island left throughout all regions. And we're going to go take that now. And that will be the end of Aurtur. And here we go. This is his last island. Just got a couple of ships here trying to take it. Got more fleet coming around the corner here. And there we go. That should be Aurtur's last island. Aurtur is done. No more Aurtur. And as you can see, we've made peace. So we're in a good position. Now we'll leave a couple of ships here just to protect the island and we'll bring the rest home. Well, there we go. The next level of the World Fair is now finished. Finish the phase. Done. So we're going to need quite a few things. And it requires electricity. So I better make sure that we're receiving electricity. I think we are. Yes, we're receiving electricity. Now I just got to take care of getting these things and we'll be right as rain. And there we go. We're ready to finalise the World's Fair. As you can see, we've also built a palace. Just slowly fleshing it all out. Here we go. Let's build the World's Fair. Ta-da! We now have a World's Fair. My word, does that look good. Sassenberg's really coming along now, isn't it? Across all regions, we have a massive fleet. Aurtur is nowhere to be seen, he is gone. And we completely control Cape Tawani. We're now doing expeditions and slowly filling our museum and slowly filling our zoo. We've now built the World's Fair, so we can now hold expos, and we've built a palace. And on top of all that, we're slowly going through now, just decorating and making things look a little bit more pretty. So overall, I think we are in a fantastic position. But sadly, this is all the time I have for today. This has been Anno 1800. I am the Sterling. Thank you for watching.